Hey there, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. Welcome to your new moon solar eclipse in Aries reading. This new moon solar eclipse is happening at 12:13 a.m. Eastern Time Zone in the U.S. On the 20th, it may be happening where you are on the 19th, so be sure to check out. There is a time zone calculator in the description box below if you don't have one that you like to use. So this is a very powerful portal opening, and what's really nice is it's kind of like we're getting ready to shift out of the North Node. The North Node is currently at 5 degrees of Taurus, but it is still we're starting to get the eclipses already in Aries, and as that North Node moves into Aries, it moves you through this period of time of integration that you've been in, into the area of maturing the seeds of the new growth, of the new version of you, of the new vision that you had during the time that the North Node moved through your sign. And so this becomes a very powerful call to action that you are starting to experience here. Wow, you have cards that are amazing. Okay, I've not seen any of these before. I'm using the Lenormand. One more time on that, the Lemurian, Beyond Lemuria book, and you have the crystal keys. Wow. Okay. So, while we are still sitting here with the North Node in Taurus, there's a lot of Taurus energy going on. You have the furried and feathered friends. There is a need to really connect in with nature to receive guidance and information. If you have not been spending time in nature in some way, find a way to do so. You will notice sometimes during readings I kind of break into, oh, this bird showed up kind of thing, because I have a bird feeding station. But when they show up during a reading, I feel like they're bringing a message. They're bringing a message, especially if it's a bird that doesn't usually show up at my feeder. And so pay attention to what animals cross your path. What do you see? I'm driving the other day and I had a pheasant run across the road in front of me. I don't see that every day. And so that meant something. And so there's just, pay attention to what you see that you don't ordinarily see, that stands out, that catches your attention, and use this. You have the gracious receptivity. Be open to receiving the flow of abundance and information and downloads that are coming to you. So when the North Node moves into Aries, it's also in the energy of choice and decision making for you. And your ability to see things from different angles might allow you to make really clear-headed thought and choices here. And your air sign feeds that fire sign energy, and so I think you can really expand things in a beautiful way. I want to get into the crystal keys here. I feel like you're getting this open, gracious receptivity. It really feels like these major league downloads coming into you. I think because we have this grounded, feathered, and furried friends kind of energy, it feels like something, wisdom from the past or other life timelines, however you look at it. So hidden wisdom codes, potent information, Lemurian seed crystals. So Lemurian seed crystal is actually something you can purchase. So you might want to look around for that if there's something that interests you. Seeing your triggers as a gift, and awareness of drama creating patterns, healing the earth, looking at your inner environment, and healing through awareness. And so being an air sign, there is a need for you to get very grounded in order to pull forward these gifts, this knowledge and this wisdom, and really tap it and use it. But I also want to say, it feels like when there is this energy cycle that comes through with this eclipse heralding the North Node moving into Aries, it is the part where we are reminded that we are moving something forward in our lives. And yeah, okay. You're getting this one too. Libra also had this. This mystic, I am spiritually wealthy. There are things inside of you, gifts, talents, latent abilities from either this timeline or others that at this time is the time to start cultivating them and nurturing them and growing them. So you may find yourself interested in new things or resurrecting something that you used to do, that you love to do, and you apply it now in a new and different way. I don't know that you'll do it exactly the same way because you are not who you were then, and there is an elevation and advancement of your perception of how you see things, a real awareness of it. And so be open. Be open to receiving the downloads and the information that you feel coming through. Okay, so we're going to do a Celtic cross, only it's not really the Celtic cross because they definitely had a very distinctive way that they wanted me to use this. Wow, really? Oh, overall energy is success. So, 6 of Wands. That tiger, he's earned his stripes. That's what I just heard. You've earned your stripes and you're striding through the world and they are celebrating. They are celebrating you. Like, I hear all this cheering and clapping going on. Like, you have come through a very tumultuous time of change. And somehow you have really elevated yourself, right? You're above the world. There's a perspective change. There's something that's very different about what is happening here. So let's get into what we have going on here. Oh my God. Sometimes Spirit says things and I'm like, wow, thank you for the confirmation. It's interesting, Libra had that in the exact same place. Okay. Okay. I see it. Thank you. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. So this right here, this here is the energy of this eclipse, and we have the Fool. There you go. I mean, that's perfect, right? It's an Aries card. It is the taking the big leap of faith. That is stepping off in a new direction. In this case, that new direction is a journey that'll take about 1.5 years to start, right? And so it is the leap of faith that is following the purity of your intention. He's holding this rose, this white rose, and he's ready to just blindly take a leap of faith into a new direction. But it is through following the purity in his heart, right? That's what matters. And so for some of you, with Mars having hung out in your sign, and since when did he got in your sign? I want to say last August. And then he stationed retrograde in October, and he did not clear retrograde shadow until what was it no, did he do it the last week or so of January? And he didn't get out of your sign until very recently, and so there was a lot of, do we do this action? Do we not do this action? Let's look at the details again. I don't know. And there's like a lot of that until he finally moved into Cancer, allowing you to find value in how you felt about something that would allow you to see which way to go and provide that clarity to step off in the way you want to go. And so the challenge for you has been this dream. And here we have this lady, it's the 6 of Cups, and she's looking at what she expected, this romantic, whatever. It doesn't matter if this is about a relationship or not. This is about some kind of a dream that you have long held, but the energy is shifting and changing. I want to say your focus is changing. What matters to you changes through maturity, through experience, and also through this new energy that is coming in, is that things that used to really matter a lot and were really important and we placed a lot of value on. I mean, as evidenced by how many people cleared clutter during the COVID lockdown, that there's a lot of us that are recognizing what used to really matter to us and had a lot of value doesn't anymore. People who used to run around like chickens with their head cut off, getting their kids to all their after school activities, were something like, you can play one sport a year, right? And so there was a need to slow down and to reevaluate. And all that was going on while the North Node was in your sign. And so as we have been moving out of that and the world has been waking back up and trying to find their feet again with the North Node in Taurus, where are we grounded? How do we fit in now? That is what I call the integration period, when it moves from the North Node, moves out of your sign into the next sign. And literally, you have the card of integration here as energy you're moving away from, that you're moving through, this harmonizing of who you are. This integration here is the, let me see, what would that be? The 14th, so that's Temperance. Well, then what the heck is that? Oh, that's the Hangman. Everybody has their own opinions about what things are. So this looks like a Sagittarius card, your new vision. This looks like Sagittarius to me. It's the 12, the Hanged Man. But this is really the energy that you get during the fall season, whatever that is, in my opinion. And to me, this feels very much more like a Scorpio energy. I think it's more like the letting things go and allowing it to feed and nurture the new dream, the new idea. And so this is what you have going on here. It is the letting go of the old vision, the old dream, and having a new vision is the opportunity. And so this integration period, while you were assessing and moving through all these different energies and finding your inner balance and really starting to value and see what has value to you, what is important to you, who are you now, and what does that mean? Like, what does it really mean? Because when we have the nodes go through our signs, it means we are doing this renovation project on ourselves, spiritually speaking. Sometimes you see it manifesting all over, but it is a renovation. And what are you moving toward? We have the Moon card, the past lives, the completing the cycle in one way, but honestly, that's not what I'm getting out of this. I am getting that you are pulling forward. You are pulling forward your knowledge and wisdom and skills. I believe that we all carry around, and it looks to me like a treasure box or a toolkit of all these things that we've learned in other timelines. And they feel like innate things. So you might pick up a new hobby and find out you're really good at it out of freaking nowhere. You're like, what is that? I'll give you a for instance. The first time I picked up a bow and arrow in middle school, and we stood there at a target and I let that arrow fly, everybody's like, oh, you shoot. I'm like, no. First time. I'm that good. Like, out of nowhere. There are just certain things. But why? Because I'm pretty sure I've used it a lot in other timelines. And so there are these innate gifts. You know, this ability to tap into the magic and the mystery and the skills and the knowledge and the wisdom that we have garnered in other arenas. And right now, we're all being able to really access this. Because anything that you have learned on planet Earth in any timeline is stored in your Akashic records. You can access it. You just have to know how, or be open to it and willing to. And sometimes it just sneaks through the cracks and says, oh, hello, you have this skill. Did you know that? And you figure that out because you're like, oh, I'm interested in doing that. And then you go do it. Oh, that was so much fun. I really enjoyed that. It might not be your first rodeo. And so when this card of the past lives is showing up here, and it's showing it's a reflection. It's a reflection of what you've done before you're going through now. So one thing is either you're repeating patterns to learn and observe them and be able to overcome the fear and to find the healing and to release and let go, which we're doing definitely in this lifetime. There's a lot of karmic release and healing going on. But there's also this opportunity to be able to reflect from the past the things that we're really good at. because we were not allowed to incarnate in this lifetime at this very critical juncture in history where all this big shifting, changing energy is happening, this cycle that the earth has never gone through before. Humanity has gotten to this point several times and then failed the test and had to start all over. And but we survived it. We survived it. Something happened in 88. Gorbachev took down that wall. 2012, we got through that. The bombing of the Trade Center could have started a nuclear war, didn't. And so now it feels like we're going to be able to make the shift to the next level. And so reflecting on what we've learned along the way as humanity and in ourselves, and pulling forward our gifts as humanity as a whole and individually, because individually we are part of the whole, is something that's in your North Node area. So that means it's not about clinging to the past, clearly, not the dream of what you wanted, but there is gifts and knowledge and wisdom that was gained through this wanting of this dream, this gift, or that has allowed you to see a new vision for what it is that you want for yourself. And so during this integration period that you've had over the last year and a half, where you've been kind of in a hangman position, as you've been seeking the knowledge and the wisdom, that is going to allow you to move things forward. Here you show up in your energy, Queen of Swords, but it's in control, is what it's called. And so this is in seeking clarity, and I feel like you are stepping into your own personal power. And I think that it's important that you do. In general it is, but I'm looking ahead. They just showed me Uranus. Uranus is going to be in your sign in the next couple of years. Uranus will be in your sign when the North Node is in Aquarius. That energy is going to feed you. And you are going to, I'm seeing like Excalibur and a bolt of lightning hitting it. It's really crazy. So wow, that is really powerful. It is important that you get yourself grounded now, that you find your center emotionally, physically, financially, psychologically, emotionally, did I mention that, spiritually, and be open to receiving the downloads and the gifts that are coming through. You can see here she is receiving a lot of information, and the way that this pyramid, this energy is pointing down, and she's grounding it. And what that means is you get these ideas, and grounding is actually manifesting them. It's taking the action that actually produces something. And so as you start nurturing these ideas that are coming through, that will be coming through a lot over the next year and a half, and then you get to the next step, and that North Node moves into Pisces, you're going to really start to see a bountiful harvest before you have to start considering how to really charge things up. Wow, pretty impressive energy happening here. Okay, so your guidance is the Magician. Your guidance is to understand, 1, your right to exist, 2, that you are part of a greater whole, and 3, there is magic everywhere. And the magic is your thoughts. When you bring them in and you connect them to the desires of your heart, that is where you create magic from. And words are magic. So watch how you talk about yourself and the things that you want. Speak in the positive and the affirmative. Because in your arena, in your area around you, the environment, thank you, the environment, it's not the way they're showing it to me. That is the craziest thing they're showing me. You look like a gladiator in an arena. Got a lot of eyes on you. There are a lot of challenges going on around you. Your ability to remain calm will diffuse a lot of situations right now. So there is a lot of compromising, negotiating. A lot of people are watching you, though. Why do you have all these eyes on you? So it could be in the professional sphere, or it could be that your kids are watching you. I mean, it could be anything. But you are being observed right now on how you manage and negotiate and create balance with situations and people around you. And you do it through being very centered in your own personal power, not by being, I mean, this is a lot of control. There's a lot of self-control. You can't do Knight of Swords things. You can't go through and just slap, and especially with Mercury in retrograde, definitely don't want to do that. There is something very methodical, getting the information, the clarity that comes in, and the centeredness, the awareness that the picture is much bigger than whatever it is you're dealing with right now. And there are a lot of eyes on you. A lot of people are watching you. Okay. Wow. Feels like a lot of responsibility. And there is this card of exhaustion here, the Nine of Wands. And so, yeah, there's a lot of energy, a lot of, you've been expending a lot of energy. But here we go. There is the release and the letting go of this energy. This is the choosing to let go of the dream that was before, that somehow has a, it feels like wearing, it's kind of like falling into the pool with all your clothes on, and you've got to get out of those heavy jeans that are full of water, because otherwise you're going to drown. And so there's a need to shed the things that weigh you down emotionally. Because then you have the Two of Wands and the card of the Empress, creativity. And so this is being willing to create something and then move on. Create something and move on. Not being weighed down, but following the vision. It's like stepping across this lily pad from one thing to the other, and creating and manifesting along the way. And this is what the skill you're going to be building over the next year and a half, until you move into the next arena, which is, okay, I'm watching this cardinal out here that just showed up today, and he doesn't seem to want any of the other birds that used to feed here to be here. And so he's like very full of himself and trying to protect himself from the little tufted mouse that is like, what, I just want peace. And so I feel like there's, again, this energy here of the warring and the factions of that. Hold on a second, because I want him to not be so bossy. Hold on. He's going to have to not hang out here. I don't like him. You can tell he's a bully, because literally, as soon as I stand up and he sees me, he leaves. And the other ones look at me like, oh, hey, there's the girl that always feeds us. And they just keep on eating. And so there's something about you standing up, just standing up, you just being you, will somehow dissipate your sense of I'm in control and I'm in charge of the situation. Will encourage others around you to back down, to not be so aggressive. So this willingness to, when you do something, when you complete something, being willing to move on, right? This ability to let go of something once you've done, created, manifested, learned, grown, whatever, to hop to the next thing. This being held in place, this exhaustion this is Mars. Mars hanging out on your sign was exhausting. Like nothing was moving forward the way you would have liked, and it just took forever. But this, you are being invited into do what you want to do, complete the project, and then go on to the next one. Whether it's a project, a new way of learning, of growing, of being, of seeing, of traveling, whatever it is, there's something about don't hang on to your soggy, wet jeans that are pulling you under. Kick out of those and let yourself swim free. You have some visions that are coming in that are very important. So allow yourself to move forward on these. Trust what you are receiving. And also, don't hang on so tightly to resources because out of fear of not receiving more. Open yourself up to understanding you will receive what you need. Your willingness to release and let go provides even more creative opportunities and more opportunities for growth and abundance. It's very beautiful energy. Okay, so that's how you get to the success. All right, Gemini, check out on Facebook. I did pin to the featured section a meditation I did for this portal and more information on it. And of course, I always get into the astrology a lot more. I do daily astrology over there. So if you'd like more information, that's a good place to go. You guys take really good care of yourselves. I'll see you again soon and enjoy the journey.